Hey everybody, welcome to the weekly news update for September 17th, 2017 on the Leek. I'm John as always, and it was a relatively light news week, of course, with Ixalan being fully spoiled and the pre-release rapidly approaching. Not too much happened, but let's take a look at what did happen, followed by the popular, now recurring segment, Storytime. Up first, the Ixalan pre-release hosted by Loading Ready Run happened yesterday. For those who don't know, Loading Ready Run are an internet comedy group who play quite a bit of Magic, produce a recurring scripted comedy series for Wizards called Friday Nights that I recommend watching, and they get to host a pre-release event for the new set a week before anybody else gets to play the set. 4 members of Loading Ready Run play, along with 3 guests from the Magic community. Someday I'd love to be one of them, but I'm pretty small potatoes still. And a Wizards of the Coast employee. This time around, Graham, Kathleen, Cam, and Adam from Lure played, along with SCG writer Emma Handy, Jeremy Noel of Commander Versus, Noah Bradley, popular Magic artist, and Lee Sharp, the digital product manager for Wizards of the Coast, were playing. As always, it was very entertaining and gave a great first look at Ixalan. You can check out the video replay on Twitch. I think it's about 6 or 7 hours long at twitch.tv/loadingreadyrun, and it should be up on YouTube sometime today, most likely. During that stream, the next pre-release was announced, and no, it's not Rivals of Ixalan. It's Unstable. The community was asking for this, Lure themselves were asking for this, and it's gonna happen. Not only that, but special guest Mark Rosewater, the head of R&D, the guy who is pushing Unstable more than anybody else, the rules manager for Unstable, because Matt Tabak certainly does not want to touch that, will be in attendance as a special guest, probably playing and, of course, judging as well. The guest list hasn't been announced yet, but I'm super excited to watch this considering my hype level for this event. It'll be on December 9th, which is the day after the actual release of the set, making the pre-release title a joke unto itself. But regardless, I'm super excited to watch this, especially as I'm hoping to stream a similar but extraordinarily amateur version of this myself sometime in December with a box of it. Next up is a quick announcement about MTG Arena. Stores were sent out some token packs, some token ad cards specifically. I believe they're treasures on the front. I'm not sure what the ad is on the back though exactly, but they are advertising the closed beta for MTG Arena. On the enclosed letter to the store owners, Wizards mentioned that some connections to paper play to MTG Arena were being explored, including code cards, which would be inserted into Magic tabletop products and would be redeemable for items in Magic the Gathering Arena. Now, while I can hope that this disclaimer will stop rampant speculation that somehow becomes widely spoken quote-unquote facts, I know it probably won't. But what I just said is all this letter said. We don't know if this means that in every pack you get a free pack online. We don't know if this means that you're just going to be getting a special avatar and every single code's the same just to get this one avatar, or if it's a card back or a new arena to play in, or if it's something purely cosmetic like that. We don't know. We don't know if there's a code going to be in every pack or every 8 packs, or if they're going to be foil mythic rare level of rarity. And of course, it may just not happen. They're exploring it. Doesn't mean they're doing it. But they're exploring the idea of codes in packs for items. And that's pretty cool. We'll just have to see what it ends up being. The final news item for today is a rules update that was inserted into the Iconic Masters release notes that'll come into effect on September 29th, the day that Ixalan releases. If a non-basic land has an ability that applies, quote, as this land enters the battlefield, or that causes it to enter the battlefield tapped or with counters, the land will lose that ability before it applies. This is a change from previous rules, and this applies to the card Blood Moon. So your shock lands will always be untapped, whether you pay life or not. I would recommend that you choose to not pay life. Tendo Ice Bridge no longer enters with a token, etc. They're just mountains if Blood Moon is out. This could have some interesting changes in Modern and Legacy and such. It makes Caverns of Souls much worse against Blood Moon. You no longer get to pick a creature type for it, meaning that if Blood Moon goes away, Cavern of Souls doesn't do too much for you. But it makes Dark Depths really bad against Blood Moon because Dark Depths enters with 0 counters on it. If Blood Moon goes away, hello, Merit Lage. It'll be really interesting to see if this shakes up any metas or anything, but I think it is a much cleaner rule, so I'm pretty in favor of this rules change for Blood Moon. Finally, it's story time. I started this last week and people loved it, so I'm going to keep it going. As always, I highly recommend you read the Magic Story posted on dailymtg.com every Wednesday, but for those who want a quick recap, let's go. This week's story was called A Question of Confidence, and it introduced us to, amongst others, Huatli, not yet warrior poet. We meet Huatli as she returns from a successful campaign against the vampires, driving them back from the Sun Coast. We learn that Huatli's people value both combat prowess and victories, but also their ability to orate and write poetry, hence the title of warrior poet being something extremely important, only bestowed to one person in a generation. And with everyone already assuming that Huatli will be that person, but she is not yet. Huatli attends the celebration of her victory over the vampires and recites a poem that she wrote about it to a thunderous applause. This was it. The Emperor was going to give her the mantle of the warrior poet today, and sure enough, the Emperor prepares to give some important news. But that important news, as it turns out, does not have anything to do with the warrior poet mantle. No, the news is that after driving the Legion of Dusk from their eastern coast, they will immediately continue to press on and drive the vampires from their south, banishing them from the mainland entirely. Somewhat disappointed, Huatli leaves with the Emperor as he explains to her that she will not be a part of that campaign. He needs her to stay on the eastern coast as there are rumors of a potential twofold attack by the Brazen Coalition, a group of pirates, and the Legion of Dusk in the near future, and the coast needs to be defended. Sure enough, after a week or two, some pirates are spotted on the coast. Huatli sabotages their supplies as they begin their attack to drive the pirates back from their landing. While the sabotage is successful, some red-hot chains wrap around her dinosaur's mount's legs. These chains are welded by a pretty angry, wrathful-looking minotaur. In fact, his name is Angrath, who we know is a planeswalker. Angrath is looking for the immortal sun, as is everyone, Huatli replies. Huatli and Angrath have a short battle with Angrath brutally murdering her dinosaur mount, but Angrath gets the upper hand and his chains yank both her and her cousin down. Upon realizing that this is how they're both going to die, Huatli sparks. She starts to planeswalk and she sees a city full of gold and color, a city that we know as Girapur on Kaladesh. But this being Ixalan, she's immediately slammed back with a strange seal appearing over her head. This shocks Angrath as he lets go, immediately identifying her as a fellow planeswalker who must be stuck here as well. He suggests they can help each other find a way off this plane, but Huatli, having no idea what's going on or what this Minotaur guy is talking about, slices at him with her blade and escapes with her cousin. All she knows is that she saw a city of gold, and it must be Orazca, the golden city that was lost to her people, and that seemingly every tribe on Ixalan is desperate to find. Huatli brings news of this vision to the Emperor. The Emperor has been avoiding a hunt for Orazca, a hunt that consumed his mother, the previous ruler. In his mind, it's simply a myth, and it's far more important to drive the vampires back. But with Huatli seemingly seeing a vision of that city, he decides that it must be meant for her to find. He tells her that the title of warrior poet is hers, if she successfully finds the golden city of Orazca. Huatli shows some hesitance as the warrior poet is a warrior and a poet, not an explorer. But she does decide to go on the search while talking with her cousin, who suggests the title of warrior poet dissolving expedition leader, after seeing the attempted planeswalk and not quite understanding it. In the morning, they will saddle up and search out the river heralds, who they expect have some information, as they're known for zealously retaining their territory. So that's going to wrap it up for story time and the weekly news update. Let me know what you thought of the pre-release if you watched it. If you didn't, go watch it. Let me know how excited you are for the Unstable pre-release, because boy, am I ever excited to watch that and play that set. I can't wait, guys. I'm going to make a bunch of content for it. And yeah, let me know what you thought of Storytime this week. Angrath looks pretty cool. I'm excited to learn more about him. He will presumably be getting a Planeswalker card in the next set, would be my guess. But as always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you can find me on Twitter at the Mana Leek. That's L-E-E-K, like the vegetable, not the card. You can also find me at facebook.com/themanaleek, twitch.tv/themanaleek, and patreon.com/themanaleek if you want to become a backer there. If you do like the content, click that thumbs up button. If you want to see more and you haven't already, click the subscribe button. And if you do have questions, comments, or suggestions, let me know. Otherwise, see you all next time.